Xin chào tất cả các anh chị em. Trước hết thì tôi cảm ơn tất cả các anh chị em, các bạn ngày hôm nay đã bỏ ra một buổi chiều cuối tuần để đến tham dự một cái sự kiện mà tôi cho rằng là rất là giá trị. Và cảm ơn các bạn sinh viên trẻ đã tổ chức một cái sự kiện rất là có giá trị cho tất cả các bạn sinh viên khác, và không chỉ cho các giới trẻ và cho người lớn nữa. Thì trước hết thì tôi cũng cảm ơn bạn Thu Lan, Andrew Schwab, rồi bạn Thanh N đã gọi là chia sẻ cái hành trình của mình. Từ những cái hành trình này mà đi qua những cái thử thách, đi qua những cái nỗi đau. I'm sorry, I'm supposed to speaking in English. I'm sorry about that. Okay, I look down to you down there, and I thought that I'm so used to that. Oh, okay, this Vietnamese down there, so I'm speaking in Vietnamese. So, sorry. All right, so thank you for the previous speakers sharing their journeys of overcoming their pain, their wound, surviving, and then thrive. How did they do that? But the reason is that all of us have pain. All of us have wounds. We all carry scars from life, challenges in life. So let's take just 30 seconds. Close your eye and think about the wound, the deepest wound that you have. The one that you cannot share with anyone, the one that doesn't know about. Just close your eye. Okay. Now, we recognize we do have pain, and we do have wounds, and we do have scars. But the problem is that not all people shine. Very, very few people actually shine and become stars. I'm a scientist, so my question was, why? And how? How did they do that? I want to do the same. But how can I do the same as they do? So, what I try to do, I try to put into a certain framework. A framework that every one of us can relate and can use. A framework that start out with feel. How you feel. You pain, you angry, and so on. And then you go to the process of a silence. Like Nung said, after you cry, and then you stop. And then you think. And then you reflect. You think, what's happening? And then you draw out a lesson. And then you stop going with your normal life. Right? Get up, go normal life. And then one day or just a couple days, you come back, you pain again. And you go through that cycle. But this time, maybe it's less painful. This time, the silence maybe have a little bit more answer. And these times, you might be able to draw out a little bit more lesson. And you reflect and feel. So the next time you feel again, And then you see other people have similar feeling to you. And oh, behold, you have the drive. You want to help out to people that have the same pain you do. That when you rise up to become star. Otherwise, you just be in a survival. You go to Japan and you survive, fine. You heal the wound, your wound. You go on with your life. So, I'm not going to go through this fast because 3 speakers, I went through that, share their story. Feel raw, okay? Raw pain. Confused, you deny, you hide, you run away, you angry, you sad, you depressed, all kind of feeling. At this step, just pause for a second. Recognize your feeling. And perhaps recognize how you respond to it. You bang the wall, you throw the glass, you hit yourself, you pull the blanket over your head and you cry, whatever. Just recognize how you respond. That's your natural way of response to pain, to wound. When you stop, and this is the time that the silent moment, it's okay. Don't deny it. It's okay to admit that you're in pain. It's okay you admit that I'm not okay. All right? So now, it's a time that you recognize you need to heal. You're healing, you need time. You need friends. You need the people you trust. Okay? You need to love yourself. And at that moment, you may be able to need to forgive yourself. And maybe you need to forgive those who give you that pain. To let go. Compassion is what you need. Remember, hiding them, ignoring it, your wound will never heal. Look at it. And during the silent moment, there's a moment in time that you are quiet. You stare at the wall. You walking and you don't know where you're going. And you sit there and you're staring at it. Or you're reading the book and you're not even getting a one word out of it. That moment is you starting reflect. You start asking questions. What happened? Why is that happen? What? And then, whatever it happened, how did it change me? I'm angrier? Or what kind of person I'm becoming? So, recognize wound or scars without reflection. Okay? It's just hidden underneath. Right? Hidden underneath the travel. At this point, the reflection time, you uncover things. And sometimes, I have to be honest, sometimes you may need help. A professional help if the pain too deep. The next times you start from reflection, you start rolling out lesson. Okay? Turn your scars into your teacher. What do I learn from it? You turn the pain into the strength. Okay? You turn the mistake into the wisdom. Yeah, I made that mistakes. Next time I wouldn't do that. Okay? You turn your loss into a meaning. Maybe it meant to teach me something. It meant for me. And then rise. The Starborn phase. Remember, Starborn phase requires you to find the purpose in that scar, in that wood. Okay? Like the previous speakers, they're sharing their journey. They found the purpose to sharing their wound. Now, your scars becoming your badge. Badge now. And the last slide, you will see what I meant by the scar becoming your badge. Not your shame. At that point in time, you're willing to share the pain, the wound, but things that at the beginning, during the time you are painful, you wouldn't dare to say a word to even your closest person. So it's my story. Over 10 years ago, at the time that at the top of my career, a well-known scientist, I have 2 patents in IT. And I get investor come and try to convince me to go and get a startup with that patent. But I didn't take the investment because the restriction that I have to give up my professorship. I still want to keep my professorship for the security of my children. So I decided to do it myself, investing in myself. I thought that, hey, I came from a person came to the United States at the age of 18, don't know any language. In Vietnam, I plowed the field for money, I selling cigarettes. I become a professor, now I'm well known. Hey, nothing I can solve. I was such proud man. So they said, this startup is easy. I have idea. I know how to make products. Little that I know about business. But I didn't know that. Okay? So, couple years, fell flat. I lost my house. I owe a lot of money to the bank. Okay? And believe me, my ego, I have to put it in a toilet and flush it. For a professor that well known, thinking that, hey, my ego put in a toilet and flush it. I lost a house. I don't have the money to get a car. I have to get a public bus to get to work. You think if my ego is good? I lost everything. But nobody know I'm still teach, by the way. But at that time, my most painful is I don't know what's wrong. Why did I fail? I don't know. Because at the time I make the decision, it's all, I thought it is right. I convinced people that this is the right way. At the time I make that decision. So I have to go back and say, why did I fail? And the journey to find that answer forced me to learn psychology, neurology, everything, neuroscience, everything, to have to think it back. Why I think the way I think. And until I understand that, hey, I went back to that time, yeah, I know why I failed. reflection, setbacks. And at that time, I learned. Next time I do it again, I do differently. Okay? And I did that. And I took an opportunity to lead the Hoa Sen University at the time that they're in trouble. And I bring it back up from recruitment, from failure recruitment 3 years and then successful. So, let me conclude. Being Scarborne is not a choice. Okay? It is life given to us. Starborn is a choice. It is your choice. You must create that path. And now, at the end, perhaps we start by asking yourself a question. What kind of wound you are hiding? And what dream that you bury because of that dream? And perhaps that's where your light begins. You probably recognize this face. Very well known. The story, 12 years old, she was forced married in Afghanistan. It would have been 18 years she escaped. Her husband formally captured, cut out her ears, cut out her nose, and was discovered by some foreign aides and then rescued her. And now she is fighting for women's rights in Afghanistan. Of course, her face now is after go through 12 times of facial reconstruction. She's fine, looking beautiful. But that her face on the Time magazine. That's what I mean. Your scars become your badge.